Listen, man, no one's gonna tell you this, but I will. You're sitting there, staring at your phone, replaying the last message she sent. Maybe it was short, maybe it was cold, maybe she didn't even bother replying at all. And now, the silence feels louder than anything you've ever heard in your life. It gnaws at you, it eats at the back of your mind. Every hour feels heavier. Every moment feels like proof that she's gone, that she's not coming back, that it's over. Your brain does what every man's brain does in that moment. It creates a story, a painful, suffocating story that feels more real than reality itself. She's done with me. I've been erased. She's moved on. She'll never come back. And you believe it. You believe it because it feels final. You believe it because your heart is screaming louder than your reason. But the truth is far more complicated. And if you're willing to hear me, if you're willing to face this with brutal honesty, you'll realize that what you're living through right now is not the ending. It's something else. Here's the thing, most men never learn until it's too late. Women don't vanish the way you think they do. When she pulls away, when she stops texting, when she ghosts, when she goes cold, your brain interprets it as forever. But that's not how female psychology works. That's not how attraction works. That's not how human bonds dissolve. What you're experiencing isn't finality, it's panic. It's your own mind searching for closure because the male mind craves it. We like clean lines. We like beginnings, middles, and endings. If a door shuts, we assume it's locked forever. But women don't move in straight lines. They move in cycles, in waves, in currents you can't always see. A woman can convince herself she's done with you today, but that doesn't mean she's done with you tomorrow. A woman can pull back, disappear, drown in her own emotions, even tell her friends she's finished with you. And yet, a month later, she'll find herself replaying your laugh in her head, remembering the way you held her, wondering what you're doing without her. Because attraction isn't linear, attachment isn't logical, emotions aren't permanent, they're fluid, they shift, they recalibrate, they circle back. But here's the brutal part you need to face. Whether she circles back or not has less to do with her and more to do with you. See, when she pulls away, most men panic. They text, they call, they plead, they collapse their frame, they let their fear of loss dictate their every move, and in doing so they take what could have been temporary space and make it permanent rejection. They write the ending themselves, not her. They suffocate the very attraction that might have brought her back by drowning her in neediness. When she disappears, when she grows cold, when she leaves you wondering if she's gone forever, you need to understand something. She isn't just drifting away, she's watching, she's observing how you respond to distance. Do you crumble? Do you beg? Do you spiral into desperation? Or do you stand still, grounded, unmoved, a man rooted in his own presence? Because whether you see it or not, that's the test. She's not just watching for weakness, she's searching for strength. She's searching for proof that you are bigger than her absence, and most men fail. Most men show their fear. Most men show that they cannot exist without her validation, and nothing kills attraction faster than a man ruled by fear. Because when you show her that your sense of worth depends on her response, you stop being the man she was drawn to. You stop being magnetic. You stop being masculine. You turn into another boy chasing attention in a world already crowded with desperate men. But the man who doesn't chase, the man who doesn't crumble, the man who can live without her, that's the man she comes back to, because that's the man she respects. That's the man she remembers when the noise fades and the highs of social media likes and comments wear off. That's the man who lingers in her mind long after the distractions vanish. And make no mistake, modern dating has made this cycle even more intense. Social media, dating apps, endless options, constant attention. Women today are swimming in validation. A single photo, a few clicks, 100 likes, a handful of thirsty comments, and suddenly her brain is lit up with dopamine. She's validated, she's distracted, and your consistent presence feels small compared to the flood of attention she can access anytime she wants. But that high, it always fades. Those likes, they slow down, the comments, they get repetitive, the DMS, they lose their shine, and when the noise dies, when the glow dims, she starts remembering you. Not because you begged, not because you chased, but because you stood still, because your silence had weight, because you didn't collapse when she pulled away, and in that moment, your absence becomes louder than all the validation in the world. This is why detachment is power. This is why masculine self-control is magnetic. Because while she's chasing temporary highs, you're building something permanent. And when her world goes quiet again, you're the one echoing in her mind. Not because you demanded to be there, but because you allowed her to feel your strength without you saying a word. So what do you do when you're convinced she's gone forever? You stop focusing on her. You stop obsessing over her silence. You shift your focus back to you. Because the truth is, most men live their lives in reaction mode. They react to her texts. They react to her moods. They react to her absence. And in doing so, they surrender their frame. They hand her the keys to their reality. But the man who holds his frame doesn't chase her world. He builds his own. He fills his days with progress, with discipline, with creation. He uses her silence as fuel to sharpen himself. He treats her absence not as punishment, but as space to evolve. Because the more you center your life around her absence, the weaker you become. But the more you center your life around your own presence, the more powerful you grow. Detachment isn't coldness. It isn't bitterness. It isn't pretending you don't care. Detachment is clarity. It's knowing that whether she comes back or not, you remain whole. It's standing in the truth that your value doesn't shrink because she isn't near. It's realizing that her silence is not the end of your story. It's just a mirror showing you who you are when no one else is there to validate you. And here's the sting. She might come back, she might not, and you never control that. What you do control is whether it matters. The man who clings to her return stays chained to her validation. The man who builds himself in her absence. By the time she reaches out, he often realizes he doesn't even want her anymore. One day she'll send that casual, "Hey," as if nothing happened. But the man she once knew won't exist. You'll be sharper, stronger, grounded, and you'll see clearly what you feared as loss was actually freedom. Her leaving isn't the end. It's the test, the forge, the fire that builds men. This pain you feel now, it's not punishment, it's preparation. Every man who ever stood tall has been burned, has been left, has been forced to face silence, and in that silence, he found himself. Love without detachment is obsession, and obsession is weakness. Real power is when you can say, "I want you, but I don't need you." That's the kind of strength that reshapes you, with or without her. So don't believe the story your mind is telling you. Don't believe the illusion of finality. She's not the center of your story. You are. Accept her absence and you become unshakable. Stay grounded, stay sharp, and when you're ready for the next step, watch the next video.